The Shady Pass of Lil Pump.
I look pretty. Still got my eyes on, so.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. Lil Pump is the definition of controversy and tends to surround himself in it. As of last year alone, Lil Pump has been arrested multiple times and banned from a country. Allow me to show you his shady past. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to King Trending. Number 6. His first arrest.
You remember what happened?
Listen, hold up. See my ankle? House arrest, house arrest, house arrest, house arrest.
Lil Pump has had a very tenuous relationship with the law, and he's never been truly afraid to break it as long as he felt he could get away with it. But ironically, unlike some rappers, his arrest didn't start immediately once he got into music. He actually stayed mostly on the straight and narrow for the most part, including in 2017 when he had his biggest hit, Gucci Gang. And yet in 2018, he fell off that wagon, if you will, in a variety of ways. The first of his strings of arrests came in February of that year, when he discharged a firearm in a place that had people in it. Well, owning a firearm isn't illegal per se, more on that in a little bit. Firing a weapon without cause where other people can get hurt is a big crime, and the police were obviously called because of the event. But here's when things get interesting though. Lil Pump's manager stated to the police that some people had tried to break into Lil Pump's home, and he opened fire on them as a result of this intrusion. Had this been true and proven, then Lil Pump would have been free and clear under the laws of self-defense. However, as you can guess, that's not exactly what happened, and Lil Pump himself made the situation a lot worse. Because the weapon was nowhere to be found when the police arrived, which you would think wouldn't be the case when it's clear it had been discharged in the room. It was only after getting a search warrant that they found the piece and ammo hidden away, presumably by Lil Pump. But it gets even worse for him because the police then found out that the piece in question belonged to not Lil Pump, but to his mother, that she had it in a place that just about anyone who knew about the firearm could get it, including Lil Pump. She didn't have the weapon in a proper safe like she should have. And so while he was arrested, there wasn't enough evidence to discredit his claims, and so instead of jail time, he went and got put on probation, which for him should have been a wake-up call, but instead, number 5. His second arrest that year.
In a Rolls Royce, he was driving without a valid license. As a matter of fact, he was in a Rolls Royce and he switched the license plate.
He decided to wait a few months before breaking the law again. As part of his probation, he wasn't allowed to go driving, meaning that he had his license revoked by the court. Driving without a license is another big offense, especially when you're on probation. But that didn't matter to Lil Pump because he went out driving and got pulled over by a cop, and upon finding out what he was doing, he was arrested. A few days later, Lil Pump himself admitted that he was going to be doing jail time.
So I'm on probation in LA. I just violated my PO, so I gotta go in and do a couple months.
And that he wasn't sure when he was going to get out per se. According to reports, he was supposed to serve a few months in jail, and yet by the end of the month, he was seen at an award show, proving that either he got off early or another deal was cut behind the scenes. Either way, Lil Pump was free for the time being. Number 4. The international arrest.
So where are we going right now?
To the police.
Jail time usually is a way for people to get sobered up in terms of what they've done and aim to try not to repeat the mistakes of their past. However, when it comes to Lil Pump, he really doesn't know when to stop being Lil Pump. A lot of the incidents that I mentioned before can be explained for one reason or another, but when it comes to what happened in a certain country in late 2018, it can really only be explained as an act of pure, unrefined stupidity. Because he didn't just get arrested once, he got arrested twice in a span of less than an hour. This particular odd and dumb series of events happened in December 4th of 2018. After disembarking a plane in Denmark, where he was scheduled to do a concert, he got arrested by police after searching his bags. The officers found that he had some cannabis on him, which is illegal in the country for the record. So because he had possession of an illegal substance, he got arrested. The irony here is that the arrest was actually a fairly minor one, and he wasn't going to serve jail time for this because of the country's laws. In fact, the only thing he was going to get was a fine of less than $1,000 for having this substance. That should have been the end of the whole experience. Except that he decided to use his phone and do an Instagram live stream as he was being arrested by the cops and being put into their police car. I wish I was kidding about this, but I'm not. And through that stream, he decided to go and insult the cops while they weren't paying attention to him, likely because they're used to arresting people that talk trash. And you know, if he was smart enough, he should have known that this would have caught up to him if he kept on going, and sure enough, it got a whole lot worse for him. The cops noticed what he was doing, and they also noticed him flipping him off while he was streaming on his phone, which led to him getting arrested, again. What a genius. To reiterate, he was already arrested for the possession charge, and now he's going to be arrested again for a different and more severe charge. Ironic? Nah. After being brought to the station in Denmark, Lil Pump did have to go and pay the fine for the marijuana, which she did was about $800, which is small change for a guy like Lil Pump. He does have an $8 million contract with Warner Brothers after all, but a hassle for sure. And not to mention, it's another charge on his record. And according to the sources, while he wasn't held for the offense in regards to flipping off the officers, because of these two combined incidents, Lil Pump isn't allowed to go back to Denmark for a total of 2 years. Imagine being banned for 2 years from a country. What a great kid. There are acts that will get you in trouble very easily, but this takes things to another level when you're dumb enough to get banned from a country. And this wasn't a misunderstanding at all. This was just because he couldn't contain himself and just deal with the arrest in question in a regular and composed fashion. Lest we forget he was actually in Denmark for a reason. There were people who bought tickets to the concert he was supposed to attend. Should he have remained composed and just paid the fine for the possession charge, he would have been able to go to that concert and make money. But now he can't go back to that country for 2 years, and any attempts at making cash there or doing concerts there is now impossible. Again, it was all his fault. Number 3, the airplane arrest.
That's my fucking bag, bro. That's not my bag. That's not my bag.
Yeah!
That's not my bag.
I don't care.
That's my bag.
It's your bag now.
Also his fault was the fact that a mere 9 days after getting banned from Denmark, Lil Pump found himself in trouble once again. He was in Miami, where he was arrested for driving without a license, and was trying to board a plane when the airport security personnel showed up. They asked to search his bags, likely because they knew he had priors of this nature, but he refused. This was a legal search, and the plane wouldn't take off without their clearance. They tried to get Lil Pump to understand what was going to happen, but not only did Lil Pump refuse again, he started to make a massive scene and got very loud with his refusals. Eventually, the security arrested him for disorderly conduct, and then he was detained as a result. The irony of this particular arrest was that he was honestly innocent of the possession charge. After being arrested, security searched his bags and found that he honestly didn't have anything. So he would have been free and clear if he had just kept a cool head and let them search his bags. But instead, he threw a fit and got arrested again, though he was let go soon after the incident took place. Number 2, controversies.
And all that. And I came to tell you from my part that I'm sorry and I apologize for posting that. It was not my intentions.
All told, Lil Pump is never a person who is opposed to getting loud and crude for what he thinks is cool, but he's also never afraid to get controversial when it comes to his songs. Many times over the course of his career, Lil Pump has found himself targeted by people in media because of the lyrics of his tracks, mainly because his mumble rap style is infamous for having all sorts of explicit language as well as racial slurs. A rather recent one of these incidents came when he made a song called Butterfly Doors. The title is a reference to a high-quality style of car where the doors open up into the air, making them look like butterfly wings. Anyway, during the song, he decided it would be funny to include a slur against the Asian culture, even using the name of one of their biggest celebrities ever, Yao Ming, as a reference during the slur. The slur was included in the song and music video, and during the video, Lil Pump made a motion with his eyes that was another racial slur against Asians. The backlash was immediate and loud. Not only did many people condemn him for what he did, many Asian rappers wrote diss tracks against Lil Pump to ensure that their displeasure was heard and felt. Lil Pump had the backpedal in quick fashion, offering an edited version of Butterfly Doors in regards to both the soundtrack and music video. And he had to make a public apology, but given his nature, it's very likely he honestly didn't care about this. He only did it to try and save face. And if you don't believe that, then let's look at another controversy that he did in response to another rapper insulting him. J. Cole is a veteran of the rap trade, and one day he decided to school some young mumble rappers with the song 1985. And in it, he called out mumble rappers for not being very smart in regards to both their music and all their money, even noting that some of them don't even own a home. Lil Pump took this as a slight against him personally, so he went out and bought a $4 million house, just to spite J. Cole, or at least attempt to spite him. What was the controversial part of this though was that on Instagram, Lil Pump said that he did this purchase because he was bored. Number 1, his future.
I am the best rapper alive. I want everybody to know that.
So as we wrap up, you can't help but wonder what the future holds for Lil Pump. He's currently doing well musically, as he's released his latest album in Harvard Dropout. He's been making the rounds in terms of collaborations and the like. As noted, he's still the standard bearer in regards to mumble rap success, and he even made a song mocking those who are trying to be like him, because there will only be one Lil Pump in his eyes. But as long as that personality of his goes unchecked, and as long as he continues to listen to the wrong voices in his head, he's going to keep on getting in trouble. Whether he'll be in trouble with the law, or in trouble with the people who listen to his music, it's just gonna keep on happening. And really, it's only a matter of time truly before his shady past grows even more. And so there you have it, a look at the shady past of Lil Pump. Can you believe that such a young guy has been in trouble with the law so many times? And which of these arrests do you think is the worst of the bunch? And of course, do you think Lil Pump will continue to be a troublemaker with the law? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on King Trending. A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. prizes. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.